this Monday morning. All right, a history-making National Western Stock Show just wrapped up yesterday.
The 120th stock show broke multiple records, and I was lucky enough to be there to see one of them happen on Friday night. Wes Ellison, president and CEO of the stock show, is here to break down those records. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for all the support. It's been wonderful 16 days, right?
Oh, it has
Went by
been.
fast, actually.
It did. Yeah, for sure.
Talk about the attendance record. I mean, you shattered that as well.
Yeah, you know, good weather.
Yeah.
And great planning and new facilities. And, you know, we blow out 726 and top 750,000. And so that record has stood since 2006. And so we're so excited that Denver just embraces what is a 120-year-old tradition, and so it was fun.
I have two questions for you. One, just going back to that, was there a thought before this event this year that you would break that record? I mean, was there a good feeling about this, or did this catch you guys by surprise? Because 20 years is a pretty long time.
Yeah, you know, we always plan to break records, right? But sometimes Mother Nature doesn't cooperate.
Right.
So, you know, such great weather. I mean, like not stock show weather. So that was a big factor, we think. But also just the fact that we opened the Legacy, we opened the Sue and Shoots Rogers Livestock Center. All of those new facilities had a huge impact there.
Speaking of that livestock center, I was in there Friday night for the auction. It is gorgeous. It's so incredible. And you had a record-breaking number that night for the stock show as well for the auction. Talk about that.
Yeah, so top our previous record by over 400,000 and $1.875 million back to the youth in agriculture, back to our scholarship trust, 10% of that, and then we blew the record out with that champion steer at 320,000.
You did. So the last record was, I think, 210, right?
Right, 210.
Okay, so here we are at 320. Yeah. And the story behind the 13-year-old girl, Cannon Ryman, who won that, I mean, it still brings tears to my eyes. Talk about why that was just so monumental for her and her family.
Yeah, you know, I think it's interesting how things work. You know, you put in effort, you work, you have, everybody has a story, right? And we all have something that's maybe happened to us, but just to set that record that way with her story and the adversity that she's overcome, to continue to pour into that and be able to, you know, give back, right? That's what we do. I mean, for her, there's never a worry about can we pay for college, you know?
Right.
How successful will I be in whatever chosen career? And ultimately, that's also a way for us to say, hey, it gives you a chance to give back as you become a career person, as you become an adult. We know that those impacts last way beyond that one night, and you know, we think all of our buyers, Bank of Colorado stepped up big for that one, and so we're so excited. I mean, we broke 5 records, tied another one that night for sales. I mean, it was an amazing evening in a beautiful new CoBank auction arena. It was awesome.
It was so much fun.
So first year for you as CEO and president. Are you going to spend the next few days looking back at what went well, or do you just start looking ahead to next year?
Yeah, so we're always going to do kind of the good, bad, and ugly of what it was, what worked well, you know, whether the sheep were good for the mutton busting kids or not, you know, things like that. But yeah, we'll start. We actually started planning for 27 during the show. We were walking around taking notes, doing those kind of things. So, you know, it was fun for me to see Denver because I'd been here as a kid and shown, you know, had brought kids here as I was at county. So it's cool. It was really neat to be on this side.
Hey, you gave my daughter the wild sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, review that.
Yeah.
And bring that steer back too if you could, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The good thing is
again.
what folks don't understand is those cattle for next year's stock show are being purchased right now.
Okay.
And those animals were, you know, born last summer and they're being worked with and getting ready to come to Denver in 2027.
Yeah, those 4-H kids and the exhibitors, they worked so hard to get to that moment, and a huge congratulations to them. Congrats to you. First year and breaking records, it really is incredible. I was thinking the next couple of days you're going to sleep.
Yeah, no, we have to clean up. We still have other events to get ready for. So, yeah, you know, dirt's already out of the Coliseum, so we'll move forward and just be ready for the next event.
Brutal.
Maybe you'll sleep in May.
Maybe in May. Yeah, maybe so.
Wes, thanks
on a
for joining
beach
us.
somewhere.
There you
Thank
go.
you very much for getting up early again.
Yeah.
You've come in a lot over the last couple of weeks. We
Thank
always
y'all for the
appreciate your
support.
time. You're welcome.